Hey guys, Catfish is back, and yes, it's still happening in 2016. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey.
What? I
Catfish.
said what? Love. It hurts. It burns.
Hey. It does hurt though.
It does.
A lot of people get hurt in the end.
Especially on Catfish.
Especially on
Repeatedly
Catfish,
on Catfish.
Unfortunately, and we don't know why, but we're gonna find out why though.
We are.
All right, what's going on, everybody? We are back. Catfish has returned for another season, so you know I had to come back and hold down the spot. I'm your boy Jimmy V. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook @Be Your Own Dad. This season we got a switch up of the panel though, cause if you guys always have been watching us, we did have Lem, Nino. They got some things to take care of on this specific night, but they are still on the AfterBuzz network. I'm sure they're on some other shows, but trust me, I come ready. I got other hosts ready to get it going, so let me introduce them.
Yeah, Constance Dunn.
And I'm Chaos J.
And they are ready to get it rocking. So let's get right into it, guys. Catfish is back. What I've seen with these episodes now, like I've studied the game. Like if this was basketball, I've seen all the tapes, all right? I've seen all the practice squads moves, and it's the same routine over and over that we see. Today, we'll be covering 2 episodes because it obviously was a 2-hour special. So the first one was about Jamie and Lucas. Right off the bat, Jamie's a pretty girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Playboy pretty.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
get some. Playboy pretty, and she was a exotic dancer.
Exotic dancer,
So-
aka a stripper, which I don't think she wanted to mention on the
Right.
show. She was like, "Well, this is just my pole here," but I
I'm a
think we all
dancer.
knew. I know,
Right, yeah.
exactly.
If there's a pole in the house, you know what's going on.
But it was not just a poll. Wasn't it a poll in the kids' room?
Was it in the kids'
It
room?
was actually, we'll call it the activity room.
Yeah.
But yes, there were kid toys in the background.
Yeah.
Yes. So we got Jamie, 29 years old, single mother. Big shout out to you and all the single mothers out there. I got the utmost respect for you. Yep. Lives in Portland. I guess she has trouble finding men, even though she works for Playboy. Which I can understand, because if you always have eyes on you, I mean, you're a female, you can speak about it, you know. If you always take these what's the word? Prerogative? What? Ferocious? Whatever the word is. If you always take these revealing pictures, I'm sure all types of guys throw themselves at it. So
Definitely,
when it comes to getting in a committed relationship, that must be a big problem.
Well,
Yeah.
oh, okay. No, go ahead.
Well, this
Ladies
is where
first.
being a lady,
Right?
you know, brings a little counterpoint here, gentlemen. See, since she is an exotic dancer, is that what you said? Exotic
Right.
dancer? Okay, that's nice. That's a good little term there, exotic dancer. The deal is that she's always dealing with men on this kind of certain, you know, they're dealing with her on a paid kind of situation in
Right.
general.
Business.
They're not interested in her, in other words. And she seems like a nice girl, you know, kind person. She had a cute little apartment. She's a mother, all that. So
Right.
she's probably looking for some substance. And so, you know, once you put that out there, what you do, et cetera, like she was even saying, it really changes the whole mate value. It changes the
It does.
scenario. Correct. I mean, you're guys, so you could speak
Right,
to that.
no, definitely, and I can see where she would want to get away from that and want to, you know, maybe get the attention of a man that doesn't know what she does, doesn't know her background, and is not even in
Okay.
that same environment, you know, whether it be the Playboy Mansion or the strip club. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the exotic dance club.
The exotic dance
The
club,
exotic
right?
dance club.
But is Tinder the place to actually go to, though?
Oh, good point.
Is it the place? Tinder?
Well, see, here's the problem. All these things are, at least for me, from my perspective, it's great. Yeah, we can
You
pick up
are
our phone.
single, married, relationship? What's up?
I'm single. I'm
Okay.
not married. I've been married.
Okay.
Big difference. But the thing is there's the convenience factor of being able to pick up your phone and meet people, being able to pick up your phone and book a flight and all that, and all those things are great. But what we're forgetting is that we're losing that human interaction, that human contact.
That's right,
That
yeah.
you get and things that you would pick up where if you went on a date, the subtle nuances that would, that might say, oh wait, he did this. Maybe that's a red flag.
Yeah.
You miss all of that when you're just going off of somebody's online profile. And I think that's where she made that's where a lot of people make their mistakes, is they put everything into online dating.
They do.
And when they put everything into online dating, there you go.
Well, we see that she meets a person that goes by the name of Lucas, okay? Lucas is supposedly from Missouri. They were talking for about 6 months or so, daily too. I mean, the pictures, videos, text messages, they did all that stuff. So I guess somewhere down the line, she figured out this is a fake. And the way that she found out was some other female reached out to her saying, be aware of this guy here. He plays girls. He does all this stuff. So pretty much she found out the truth, but she wanted to continue to play along to find out who this person actually was. So that's when she reached out to Nev and Max, and they come through and figure all this stuff out here. So what ends up happening is Nev and Max make a gang. I mean, they got a group. It turned out to be Jamie, Sarah, another one, Ursula, and all these three girls said the same person did all this to me. This is where my bullshit meter went off. Because how in the world are all these three people are going to be able to get in communication at the same time while Nev and Max are filming this show? What'd you guys think?
This is where you're thinking shenanigans.
Where I'm thinking it was scripted, like this is all set up way too good.
You have a level of cynicism, which I think comes from knowing this show inside out, sideways,
Exactly.
and examining these like forensics files.
Right.
So I'm a little greener, and I'm a little inclined to not think that. But
Okay.
you brought it up, and it gives me something to ponder. That's for sure. What do you think?
Definitely. I feel like it's just.
Are you believing it or are you not?
Here it is. It's been so. How many seasons has it been now?
Bruh, I think this
Exactly.
is on season 5, I believe.
So for my question is how is
5
it
or
still
6.
happening?
Thank you.
For this to be, it is a pretty popular show.
And yes,
How is this still happening?
Yes.
How are people still getting catfished? So you gotta kind of wonder, like, are they running out of true, legitimate catfish situations? So then, yeah, they kind of got to throw a little scripting in there.
right. Which I'm gonna shout out Lem and Nino, because last season we spoke about this over and over, and maybe that's why they can't make the show this season, because maybe they just got tired of the bullshit. You never know. But guys out there, let us know in the comment section. First off, if you think this was scripted or if this actually went down like they say it was. But let's continue on with the episode here, right? So it gets weird to me when it got to the point in the story where Lucas supposedly ended up moving to Oregon, where she actually was, but did not go to see her, and he was there for 2 weeks. So he's making no type of effort, and at this point, she's like, okay, are you real or are you fake? So they actually referred to Snapchat, which is very interesting, because as I do these after shows, each season they always introduce some new type of social media. They first introduced Instagram in like season 3 or something, Tumblr, all these different things. So now Snapchat is here. So how can you fake a Snapchat?
Well, as evident on the show,
it's possible.
Some really, really, really good Photoshop skills.
It's
Dude's
possible.
Photoshop skills were money. Like, he probably should be looking at a job here in LA.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause I believed it off rip. I mean,
It was legit. The fact that they said, hold one finger up.
That's right.
Hold a picture with our names. And then he photoshopped a picture.
And he actually got it done.
I mean, he got it done.
Yes.
And I mean, it wasn't just like he just threw something together.
Yeah.
It was detailed to the point where you could see the shadow against the back of the sign.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
So I'm saying to whoever that was out there, holla at me, because I need you on my team, okay?
I'm just saying, his Photoshop game was on point.
Fast, too. He had it done. Like, they were out drinking. Remember Jamie and her friends? And they were the one that issued the challenge, and he just got it done.
Right.
ASAP.
So at this point, when she received the fake Snapchat was when Ursula reached out to her, let her know of her situation too, and how they had the similar stories. And Ursula's on this mission to reach out to all the girls out there to let them know about this guy here, and that's how they all meet up at that point. So they finally do their research, of course, Nev and Max, and they find out that Zach, who lives in St. Louis, and the way they found Zach was they took the number that Ursula had as well as Jamie had, and they matched it up, and it was to a Zach in St. Louis. So this is where they're finally starting to get somewhere in the story. So after doing some more research, they invite Ursula out to Portland, so now they got Nev and Max and also the two girls. So a super team is starting to form here, as we know, right?
Right.
So we come to find out that this guy Lucas, he's somewhat of a hornball, I'll say, because with the situation with Ursula, they were having phone sex 2 to 3 times a week. I mean, he tried it with Jamie. He said they did actually do it one time. And the big news that Ursula actually shared was Lucas is the name. Lucas admitted to Ursula that he's not real, and he is an actual catfish, and he's done it to over 400 girls.
Yeah, let's just take a minute to soak that up.
Marinate on that thing. 400.
But see, this guy was thorough. Let's remember, he had a whole list on Google Drive where he was keeping track, keeping notes.
Later on in the episode.
Very
that's right.
organized.
Right,
Exactly.
and he was EEOC. You notice the women were all different types of women.
Ooh, good.
Do you get what I'm saying? Which
EOL,
will lead me
equal opportunity lover.
to my hypothesis that he really is doing it. I think he just hates women.
That or it's a game and
Absolutely.
it's like a challenge.
He really hates them. It's a power thing. And you notice it's not like he's attracted to a certain type and he's just like, okay, I know my mate value is here and these chicks are up here, so I'm going to have to pull shenanigans and pretend I'm this hot guy, blue eyes, named Lucas with the shirt off, right? He doesn't do that. He's just an equal opportunity predator. And you could see when we get to meet him, without jumping the gun, with the smirk. Dude
With
does
the
not like
lines
Well, then let's
that he
remember
says
too. He
and all
said, this is an experiment.
That's right. Exactly. So
That's what he told the one girl.
Let's jump right into it. So now the group that was in Portland, they get in contact with Sarah, who's in St. Louis as well, and they're like, "Hey, let's all go to St. Louis and catch them." So they hop on a flight, and now they are in St. Louis, and they actually go to meet him. And actually, what I thought was pretty interesting before they went to go meet Zach was they all took a family picture of, hey, we're out here, we're gonna come get you whenever. That's how it went down in my head. Kels, if you were doing all this bad stuff and you got a phone message picture of these 3 girls and Nev and Max, how are you reacting?
First off, my heart's gonna drop,
right?
Because I know it's about to go down.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure the response is not gonna be great picture, winky face.
Exactly.
Like, it's definitely no.
He's
No.
smug.
I've already been in just regular situations, that we're trying, let alone a situation like that where you've gotten in trouble with multiple women on TV,
yes.
with the TV host behind them, taking the picture like, bam,
You're not
we got
looking
you, bro.
good, guy.
And then you say, oh, great picture, winky face. Now, at the same time, I guess you can maybe give him a little bit of credit for, playing it off as if it, didn't mean anything, but he had to be shaking in his boots just a little bit. Like, damn, like I got busted.
Yeah, like
again.
I'm about to get caught. Exactly.
Fail.
And this is where I think this episode was fake, because at this point they go to a commercial break, whatever. But when they come back, we see multiple videos of females. They sent in personal videos of them saying all the wrong Lucas has done. And it's not only one. I'm talking, we saw about 5, 6 different girls of all saying Lucas did this, Lucas did that. Once again, how are they getting all these videos if they're secretly doing this for the show and it all just happens to work out? That's why I'm thinking this was scripted.
Is it possible that the production people just reached out to some of these girls and said, hey, would you just do like a 1 or 2 line testimonial? And they just did some OT, you know.
And that's what I was going to say, was it's definitely something that, you know, probably happened behind the scenes to just put it all together, so then when we see the finished product, it's like, man, you know, they've got everything queued up.
Well, living out in Cali, of course, LA casting, backstage, you get all these different opportunities to record yourself, you know, sending in for this opportunity to be on this show. So that's what I'm thinking they had. Listen, we just need you to say this and boom, and send it back. So that's my reasoning as to why this was all scripted. But let's continue on. So they're finally at Zach's house, and he pretty much spills the beans. At first, he has no idea what to say. I thought he looked like the 40-year-old virgin, you know, just a little bigger. But hey, that's
with some long hair.
Just me, right? Exactly. So he said he started over a year ago. Reason why was he wasn't getting any attention on his social profile, so he took a more attractive guy, whatever the case, and he started to like that attention, and he didn't want to let it go, right? So at this point, we see there's obviously something inside that he's lacking of, which I said now I'm in my 3rd season of doing this Catfish after show. There's always something with the people that we come to understand their actions afterwards, whatever the case is. So this is where it gets funny. Nev and Max, excuse my language, guys, but they grow some balls and they say, hey, let me get your phone. Let me see it. He's, why? Let me look through your pictures. Are they all deleted? Yeah. All right, fine. Let me see. He was lying, but the interesting thing was he was recording their whole conversation. Now, why would he want to record this interaction?
I couldn't figure that out. I was trying to wrap my mind around that, and I'm just like, what would be your motivation for wanting to relive this situation? Like, that's one of those things that you would want to forget. Like, oh goodness, like I can't believe that happened. Like, wow. But at the same time, I feel like he kind of, as sick as it might be, like, or twisted, he kind of got off on that. He got off on the attention, whether it was good or bad, and then he kind of got off on just that whole situation, and the fact that it had come to a head the way it did, to the point where they're on a national TV show. I think he was kind of, he probably got a little chub off that. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Look at me now.
He strikes me as a guy, like, it's a very kind of consequence of the modern times. There's no real fear. Like, if this is off camera, this is offline, maybe in your town.
Yeah.
This is your older brother taking care of business to someone who's messed. There's going to be a little fear because there's going to be some real world consequence. This is a guy who's smiling. He's smug.
Enjoying
he's recording
every
stuff.
minute.
It's never
loving it.
And he's probably just recording it because, like, oh, legally I want to, like, protect myself. There's no real consequences, you know?
And then at this point is where Nev goes into his Z drive and he's like, yeah, I bet you never knew about that, huh, right? And then this is where he finds all the notes of all the different girls and all the pictures. And this is where I said, all right, this guy's a perv. He's keeping everything in his phone for his social pleasure. He's got something wrong with him. Just something's wrong, right? So this is where they try to talk things out, but Nev's like, let's take some time. We'll maybe come back, right? So of course, next day they actually do meet back up, and this is time to get some explaining, understanding why. And the girls, Jamie especially, she was not buying what he was selling.
Not at all.
Nothing.
Not even a little bit.
I mean, he was unapologetically sorry. The way he was saying things, it was as if he had no feelings. And I can understand why the girls, they felt that type of way. It's like everything they were saying, he just brushed it off, and he's like, okay, fine, whatever the case was. And Jamie ends up walking out.
Yeah.
You're a female. If you were in this situation, this guy put you through all this stuff, you find out you're not the only one, and you can finally confront this man. How is that going down?
Well, you know, it's interesting because in a lot of these Catfish, you know, the episodes, people always want emotion. Girl, guy, cat, you name it. They always, since they've been duped, they just want to know, like, was it real, right? Because they don't want to feel that they were, like, crazy, basically living this delusion, which sometimes romance can be delusion in any case. But they want all this emotion, and Jamie seems a little more seasoned than the rest of them. And she was very upset, and I want to defend Jamie a little bit. Somebody where people talk about, okay, well, you're used to getting naked, all this stuff. You know, why are you so upset? You know, you just do this every day of the week. Yeah. She's off the clock. This was personal. There's no need to be intimate with anyone unless it was something genuine coming from a part of her that is not for sale.
Woo!
That's what
Do you hear that, fellas? I hope you're taking notes.
Yeah. She said it here.
That's why she got really, really, really upset, and legitimately, you know.
I actually liked how she got on the chair. She was like, what?
Yeah.
Took off her coat. Listen. Boom, boom. Blah, 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 blah. Basically, he was acting like a child, and she said, I feel like I need to talk to you like my child.
Pretty much.
And he never really owned up to everything that he did up until the girls finally stepped out and said, look, I ain't got time for this. I got stuff. Boom, dipped off. But then it continues outside of the house. They continue to go back and forth, all that stuff. But what I did like was Nev and Max, they became the social media police, and they said, hey, we need you to change your profile picture, change your passcode, all that stuff. If you are in that situation and they told you to do it on camera, what are you doing, Kels?
I mean, what do you do in that situation? I guess it depends on how much you value, I guess, your public persona, is if that's even the right term. I mean, I guess it just depends, because he easily could have just said, nah, I'm not doing that.
Right, exactly.
Kick rocks.
Be an asshole about it, yeah.
But I kind of feel like even though they made him do that, I don't feel like it necessarily meant that was going to be the end of it, and that he was really going to change his ways.
No.
Right.
I just think he's going to get better about it, and try to do things so that he doesn't get caught as easily.
Yeah.
That was my takeaway, and that's kind of why I feel like he was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go through the motions,
Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because he was honest in the sense that he did not care. He didn't care. He wasn't going to. At first, he was kind of pretending to flip the switch and kind of talk about, oh, I liked the attention, and I'm starting to go, okay, yeah, I'm seeing this. And then he's like, you know what? The other day, I was just telling you what you wanted to hear. I don't really care. Like,
exactly.
He doesn't care.
And at that point, that's when he finally kept it real. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. He's really just making fools of these women, and that's where I get into the true dude hates women.
Yeah, so which we end up finding they turn on the sad music in the bag. I never got attention. It's Catfish. I've seen this.
Was low. Nobody sat with me at the lunch table in the cafeteria. Like, you're going to always hear it. There's always going to be some what was
these
me
excuses
as to why they're doing other people dirty.
And that they gotta take it out on somebody else because it happened to them or something, whatever the case. Long story short, listen, be alone, okay? Sit down in a room by yourself and get to know yourself so you don't take things that you never had out on other people. That's my positive note for the day, okay? Be friends with you. Exactly. But we end up finding out 2 months later, they went to check up on him. looked like Jamie was in a good space. She's moving on to the next, probably making it rain, whatever, right? We come to speak with Mr. Lucas, and he said that he actually stopped.
Yeah, right.
Do we actually think he stopped? No.
I still didn't believe it. Haircut and everything. I mean, you remember he shows up. He's got the fresh cut.
I know, right?
He's got rid of the glasses. He got some contacts. But I still just feel like, not really. He's gonna do it again.
I think so too.
And you know what? Back to what you just said about don't screwing over other people.
Yeah.
Here's the situation. Zach, I think, got some perverse pleasure out of screwing people over and feeling a sense of power over women that he couldn't probably score on his own recognizance, right?
Right.
However...
Whoa, hold on, slow down. Recognizance. I don't know what that
Word
means.
of
And
the day.
if anybody out there doesn't know, please break down what does recognizance mean.
I was using it not correctly. It's just the idea of like legitimately if Zach is standing in front of you, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna add that word to my vocabulary
not
so I
gonna
sound
be-
like her. But okay, go
It's
ahead.
from watching 80s cop shows. Do not add it to your vocabulary.
All that recognizance. I don't even know
Get
if I
out of
said
here with that
right.
recognizance. What's wrong with you?
Exactly, but I'm
We
sorry.
don't need
continue.
that here in
But
this
you know
office.
what? So he got this perverse pleasure out of messing with these women, right?
Yeah.
Here's the situation. He is going to actually find legitimate pleasure in his life if he actually finds legitimate love on his own recognizance. Someone who's just like, this is who I am, and it happens. So that's the idea. It's like, crime doesn't pay. Screwing people over, it really, honestly...
In the end, it will catch up to you.
Yeah.
Karma is a
And do you have a good feeling? I mean, do you really think he has a good feeling from doing that, really?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But hey, he's not the only one, because there was another episode where it caught up to him in the end.
Yeah, buddy.
Catfish,
In a
I'm
major
telling you.
way.
Major way. So.
And I was gonna touch on that was, every time they do the follow up, it's always like, oh my gosh, I'm in such a great space.
Yes,
Things are so
I
great. And I'm
stopped it.
talking to other people in real life, and in both parties, it's always sunshine, rainbows.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a dark person, but just once I want to see where they do a follow up, and it's not all good.
Yeah,
Because in real life,
keep it
ain't
real.
always all good.
That's right.
And then I guess that'll take us into the next one, because that follow up, it wasn't all good, guys.
It wasn't all good. I like that
wasn't.
transition you got.
See what I did there? See what I did there?
He's been taking notes now. But audience out there, please comment your thoughts on the first episode. We want to know if it was real, if it was fake, and what you think about the girls in the situation at the end. Ursula, Jamie, Sarah. If I was them, I'd team up and do some type of group on how to save catfish girls, because obviously they all work good together, right? But let's move on to our next episode. Episode 2, Larissa and Anthony. All right, so we have a 20 years old Larissa. She's in love with this person named Anthony, of course, right? Anthony is supposedly from San Diego, California. And the interesting thing about Larissa, or I could say, she clearly doesn't learn from her past mistakes, because she's been catfished before.
Yeah.
She's been there. She's
Not
done that.
once, but twice. And she got the t-shirt.
Advertising for the show, pretty much, right? We come to find out as the episode moves on, and we said as we were watching is she is pretty gullible. She believes
don't forget
everything
naive.
that's what's said. Naive. Keep in mind, she is 20. I'm not that much older. I'm 24. So I've been there before, right? But I've never been catfished. It's not like I've actually gone through it. So I've
So you mean
learned
you
through
haven't been
things.
catfished like twice?
Hell no.
Not
No.
even 3 times?
Not once. And
job.
I don't plan to, okay? Stay out my DMs, all right? So what ends up happening is we learned of this person named Anthony. He ended up moving to Yakima, was that the
Yakima?
Yakima.
Yakima,
Beautiful place,
right?
by the way.
It did.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nev and Max. They're traveling everywhere.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like,
Alaska.
when I'm watching, I'm like, can I be on their production
Thank
team?
you, right?
Because
next season they're in what, Britain or
frequent flyer miles are
Europe?
just through the roof right now. Yeah.
Shout out to Yakima, beautiful place. If
Yeah.
anyone's joining us
Shout
from
out to a
there,
place
yeah.
I've never heard before until tonight. Yakima.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yakima.
So we find out that there's this person there that I guess she's been in this relationship for, and that she actually sent money to him, $500 in total, which was actually money for her books. So she sacrificed. Sacrificed doing good for her for somebody else. So I guess she has a good heart. We can assume that.
Give her props for
off
that.
the back, right? And she's in this relationship. Now, the thing about Larissa, if I can go back to her catfish before, it was with a person named Jose who turned out to be Kimberly. So Kimberly was posing as a male, but she was a female, all right? They were in this relationship, whatever, for 3 years. And when things went down south, Larissa ended up crying for 3 months over this. So I'm sure that was a tough wound to actually conceal, and then the wound opened back up as she started to deal with another Jose, right? So this whole thing, I kind of do believe this is possible, just how things planned out, because we do learn this person named Jose, which we end up learning he used to work at a car dealership in Encino. Did I say that right? Encino, whatever it was. But when Nev and Max actually do research, they speak with a person who used to work with this supposedly Jose, and he skated off to Alaska. All right. So now, of course, Larissa is in a tough predicament once again, because she's speaking with somebody she doesn't know who it actually was, and now she chases him off to Alaska, right, after meeting up with Nev. So this is where it gets funny. They go to Alaska, and once again, Nev and Max, excuse my language, have balls of steel, because they go to each restaurant saying, do you know who this person is? Would you ever do that?
If I'm trying to find a missing person that's legitimately missing and I'm concerned for their safety, yes. But then again, I don't know. I guess it depends on the situation. If I think that, these people might know you and you owe me some money, or, you stole my favorite pair of Jordans, or whatever the case may be, you did something to my girl, whatever that is, then maybe I might go ahead and be bold enough to go around and say, hey, you know this person?
You
hey,
know this guy?
This?
I'm looking for him.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Nev and Max, I'm going to go ahead and give them a shout out, because they kind of stepped up their game. They've
been puffing out their chest.
They are definitely emboldened this season. And
yes.
I'm curious to see how it's going to progress. Because it's only going to go up from here.
Mm-hmm. So when they do all this investigating, they end up landing at some type of job. I don't know what the job actually was, but he was like, hey, do you know of a person named Jose that actually works there? They actually do. There's actually a few of them. So when he goes to show them the picture, I guess the boss or the manager lady goes, oh, he's right upstairs. Let me go and grab him. So we get to the point where Larissa is about to find who she's been dealing with. So ends up coming out, I don't know how to describe him. Let me just say, and a person who is on the run. I think that's the best way that we can say.
Pretty much.
We end up learning that, of course, internally, he's never had a person who's actually looks out for him, been there for him. Here comes a small violin, and this is why he does all
Sad
this.
Story.
Exactly. Yeah. But it was pretty interesting when she confronted him and asked him why, and he said, I don't know.
He had no answer. It's interesting because he's at the cannery.
Yeah.
And he's pretending she's thinking she has this relationship with this Anthony, but his real name is Jose. And if you watch the show tonight, Anthony is a dang good-looking guy. Mm. He is a senor plus. And that Jose in real life is not at the level visually
no, not even a little
that
bit.
Anthony was.
I don't
So
even
I
think
could see it
they're
in
the same
her face.
skin tone or something.
Yeah, I could see little Larissa because she has this fantasia with the Anthony, and I just saw her face go, oh,
She's
boss.
like, man.
Well, remember when they showed the picture, the initial picture from his profile page, they said, yeah, this is him. And she said, oh, I hope it's not. I mean, she was being honest.
Yeah, but she was still in denial of the whole thing.
And they're always in denial.
Always in denial. And we come to learn that this Jose, who was posing as Anthony here, he's been through a lot. Traumatized at a young age. He got into a car accident or some type of accident out in San Diego, and he had no money to the point where the hospital had to pay for his ticket for him to get out of San Diego. So it's safe to say he was in a tough spot. I would need a friend or two or three.
True. But let's backtrack.
Okay.
Real quick. Remember, he started this as revenge because he was mad at his homeboy.
That stole his girl, right?
Right. He was mad at his homeboy. So it all started out of revenge and then just kind of snowballed from there.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, because it really started getting me when he was talking about how he was abused as a child.
Yeah.
That sounded real to me. It doesn't make it right to go and, mess with this girl. She was a real sweetheart and, take her money and all that. But I was just wondering, sometimes they just do such a good job of lying, right?
Yeah.
So people that are skilled at this, his history doesn't speak well to him being an upright guy, right? He's, shenanigans left, right, and center. And I'm just wondering if he made the stuff up. That's all.
I don't know. You know what? I'm kind of gonna go ahead and lean on the side of I think he was kind of telling the truth. There were little things that he said that were random enough that I'm like, somebody really make that up? But then again, we have seen on this show where people make up some random stuff. But the whole thing with the dad and the dad kicking him as a young baby and then his organs getting messed up and then he being in the hospital and then going and getting put up for adoption. I'm like, you know what? Okay. Because that's also things that he never shared with her. So...
Good point.
Good point.
For him to bring that out at the end when everything's on the table,
I think that's...
I kind of was like, you know what? Maybe he's telling the truth.
I think at that point he was just waving the white flag and like, okay,
I surrender.
This is what's going on in.
But see, he didn't wave that white flag in the beginning.
Not
Remember,
too early.
he said, hold on, I wrote it down. Where did I put it? He said, I don't know. I just did it. I mean, I don't know. I just did it. I mean,
I think at that point,
and I was like, really, you're talking about somebody's feelings and getting them emotionally involved and leading them on, and it just, I don't know. I mean, I just did it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about him, like what we're talking about, because we are all people of the world, and we're giving a little bit to Jose that this might be legit, because it reminds me of this line from this great old movie called Almost Famous, where she goes, the truth just sounds different, right? It was interesting.
That's true.
Yeah, because remember, he didn't take the money and he didn't cheat.
He didn't, which was interesting too, because he told her that he cheated on her. Come to find out, we learned he never did cheat on her. So he told her to kind of make her feel a specific way towards him, and she said that hurt her feelings.
So that she would hopefully leave him alone.
Yeah.
And he didn't even take the money.
He didn't, which is true.
He didn't even take the money.
Okay, here's the situation with pretending to cheat on her. I don't know if he was actually thinking she was going to break up with them, because here's the thing. There's this amazing book called Betrayal Bond, and it's the idea is, remember her background, the father, she has no father, right? So there's something about her that she keeps getting into these patterns with these people, right? So there's this idea that if someone treats you great and then they treat you bad, then they treat you great, then they treat you bad, it creates these powerful emotional bonds. So you get what I'm saying, given her psychology, that if he, one day he's like, I love you, then the next day he's like, I cheated on you. Do you see how that would be like catnip? Like, oh man, we are just like, wow. You'll never get rid of me. I don't think he was level A like that. But anyway.
No, he wasn't a Zach. Or a Lucas, or whatever
he goes by.
That guy
wasn't a Zach.
He was a piece of work. But definitely good point there.
Yes, but at the end of this episode, of course, he does say that he loved her and that he felt a connection with her. And then we go to 2 months later when they speak with guys, I'm having a brain fart. When they end up speaking with Larissa, that he actually reached out to her because he was in prison at that time. So this whole idea of him being on the run, and which he actually, when he spoke with them before they went on the 2 months break, he said, I actually just got a job on this boat because everything that happened yesterday, I just got to get out of there. I'm tired of messing up people's lives, whatever the case was. So he's on the run. So I think this is another person who I think he needs to sit down in a room, get used to him, understand what he likes, what he doesn't like, and try not to inflict pain on the things that he's lacking of, because I think that's just definitely what ended up happening here. So once again, we learned that he ended up in prison and was released on probation. Hopefully he's not watching this, so he doesn't come after us. But hopefully
he knows where
he
you
learned
live.
from the situation. And I think just another episode of Catfish where there's internal things wrong with people and they just lash out.
Well, yeah, because again, I mean, to jump back on the first episode, you had Jamie, who was, she was pretty. And she had,
Jamie.
I mean,
I second
I'm just
that.
saying. I mean,
I second that.
No, I'm just, she was an attractive woman, and she was at some point she was a playmate, or at least she had posed for Playboy.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's wrong? There's always something, and for her, it seemed like it was self-esteem and maybe a little confidence in some areas. So yeah, I definitely agree. There's always going to be something that's going to make people vulnerable and susceptible to getting catfished.
Which too, she made herself very vulnerable because when they were speaking about those Playboy pics, she started to cry.
Did she?
Yes, and crying in front of the camera. I don't know about
Dang.
y'all, and that makes you all types of open. So I think that's where it made it for us as a audience to relate to. If I was a model, I take these type of pictures, I get all these types of looks. So we understand why she would want, just like you said earlier, want a person who doesn't know about her situation, her job, all those different things. And hopefully people out there will learn from this, because
I'm telling you,
it's 2016.
I don't get, and I don't get how in 2016 or even in 2015 or 14 or 13
after season 1,
you've been talking to someone for so long and you don't know what they look like in real time.
You don't hear a voice. Larissa said we would speak on the phone. I can't see him, but his phone was on mute, but we'd be texting back and forth.
That was one of the weirdest things. That was the first guy. That was like Jose.
Yeah, what
that
type
was
of conversation is that?
I'm like,
a
wait,
weird
what? Where she was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear him breathing.
Yeah, he's
I knew he was on the
breathing.
phone.
I know, but I can't
he's
see
texting
him.
his replies to me verbally, like, wait, what?
Matter of fact-
And where in your mind do you think, like, oh, this is okay, this is normal, and I'm gonna accept this and keep talking to this person? Not even a little bit.
We need.
Oh, I was just gonna say, we have a little Instagram love.
Oh, sure. Yeah. What's up?
Cece loves the discussion, and
Shout
also
out.
mentioned, Cece, thank you. Casapic mentioned that Neve's hair did not work for her the second episode. I know.
Oh
he
yeah,
was,
when he was like that or something.
Yeah, I kind of liked it in the beginning.
yeah.
He was doing the 1930s thing. See, the women are going to be interested in this. You guys, not so much. He was doing a new hairdo. He put a lot of gel. He went
Okay.
30s. I thought it looked really, really good in that shot. And then as time went on, it got a little flat. But Casapic is not into Neve's hair.
Well,
The
shout
hair
out
look.
to you for always joining in on these on the conversation, and also everybody
2
out
thumbs
there
up.
too. Of course, make sure you comment your thoughts on this episode. As far as that, us brothers, we stick to hair combs and picks and
There you
sponges.
go. There
so
you go.
that's just what we do here, right?
That's how
but
I get
so,
down.
that is Catfish, our first 2 episodes. What do you guys think is gonna happen for this season? Let's go into predictions quick.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So I'll start it off. They gave us a quick preview of the next episode. Like I said, they're going overseas. They're taking this global. So shout out to Neve. If you need help, what's up? But I think the episodes, they're gonna get more interesting. The fact that they're overseas, we're gonna learn a different social sites or different different tactics of dating that we're not accustomed to seeing here in America. We'll learn of those within the future episodes. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, I think they're going to up the ante. I think we're seeing Nev and Max a little more aggressive than we've seen in the past. Yeah, taking it to the streets, right? So they're going to be doing that a little more, and just all the different permutations of how people can screw each other over.
I know, right? Over and over again.
Yeah.
And for everyone else, my prediction, I'm going to give you the layman term version of that, the layman version. I'm going to bring it down a notch. Same thing, pretty much. I think we're going to get to see a lot more traveling. Not that they don't already travel enough, but I think we're going to see a lot of different locations that they've never gone to before. Being one of those, Kodiak, Yakima.
Exactly.
They're going over. They're going to Europe with this next episode. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. I think we're going to see some really crazy catfish stories that we did not see coming. I think they're gonna. I think they've got a 1-2 punch. I mean, nothing that we saw tonight was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that crazy, but I feel like it's going to get crazier. I feel like they're definitely going to kick it up a notch because at this point you have to.
Yeah, it's like what else haven't we seen?
Exactly.
You have to keep us entertained as a audience. So
and I think
show me something new.
Exactly, and I think one of those signs that's indicative of that is Max and Nev.
That's right.
Max and Nev are getting gangster on these people. Like, hey, run your phone, homie.
Let me see
your phone.
We're changing your pictures. Yeah, count information. It's
Swipe.
over.
I'm deleting. Exactly.
Which I can't wait to bring up when, of course, you guys know over here at AfterBuzz, we do get special guests. We will be having one of the casting directors join us, so make sure you tune in on the episodes to come, which we will be here every Wednesday it's Wednesday over here in Cali, but at this time, make sure you tune into our after show. We'll try to get as many guests as we can as long as you guys continue to watch. But
same time, same place.
For that, this is our after show, guys. I am your host, Jimmy V. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you continue the conversation. You can find me Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Be Your Own Dad. I do have a blog where I always post this after show, BeYourOwnDad.blogspot.com. Check that out.
Good stuff. Yeah. Constance Dunn. Twitter, Instagram, Constance Dunn. I look forward to joining you.
Boom.
Chaos J, Twitter. Find me, hit me up. Let's talk about it. It doesn't have to stop after 10 o'clock.
Hey. Just don't do no catfishing.
No catfish.
No catfish.
No catfish.
Don't catfish your friends. Don't catfish your family. And don't catfish strangers.
Yeah.
That's right.
Be nice.
Be nice.
Love everybody. Can we all just get along?
Ow! And that's the perfect way to end this. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.